Good morning, Monster Cast. This is not a test, and this is also not rock and roll. This is a Monster Truck podcast. We are your hostess with the mostest, Mason Paul and Cameron Miguez. How are you doing today, Cam? Excuse me.
I think that was the one.
That was the one, wasn't it?
that was the one. That's beautiful. Hi, Mason. What's going on with you and your bad self in San Diego?
Nothing much. Actually, only reason why I had that idea was because I watched a little bit of Good Morning Vietnam this morning.
Oh, yeah,
woke up with a little bit of a little bit under the flu, but other than that, I'm like, this is a pretty good movie. Wait a minute, I have an idea for an intro because we're trying to, always have something different for each episode. So I'm like, yeah, we can make this work.
Well, we're trying to get that hook. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Crush This is intro. I mean, those guys with that guy, and I apologize, I can never remember his name, but God, that's just a badass intro. And so we got to do something to try and compete. But speaking of them, I don't know if you caught it, but last night they had a really cool episode with Dan Patrick, Gene Patterson, and Marty Garza on talking about the Penda series last night. And it was really cool. It was cool to hear some of the stories they had. And, we've had some of them guys on talking about that over the last few weeks. And it's always cool to hear the stories from one guy, but to hear all three of them kind of, one of them would tell a story and another one would feed off of it and, hear different aspects. So that was pretty cool. So if you guys get a chance, definitely check out the Crush This podcast from last night. It was a great episode. And we actually originally were going to be a part of that. We had talked about doing something with Cheech, but apparently my producer dropped the ball, I hear. So thanks for that, Mason.
Oops.
Say something, damn it.
I did. I said sorry and whoops. I feel nothing but I just feel really bad right now. So that's why I made up with the intro. And now I probably can't talk for the rest of the night because that took a lot out of me.
You know what? It's all good. I mean, it's nothing that I feel like we really need to be a part of. I mean, that's Cheech's thing. He's done the round table for years, and it's a cool thing. So, I don't need to try and move in on it. It was something me and him had just talked about, and I guarantee we'll do something in the future. I mean, I think it'd be cool for me and you to get with Brad and Cheech and come up with a really cool idea of something completely different that neither one of us are doing, and something maybe that we can only do with just us. It's a different idea that we do, once every few months or something. So we'll have to all get together. We'll figure something out. I think it'd be fun. But anyway, so I don't know of any shows coming up this weekend. I'm sure there is, but people aren't letting us know. We need to hear about them. I know I have one, Bolivar, Missouri, 2 Extreme Monster Truck Series. Ought to be a good show. Got Bounty Hunter and Iron Outlaw there, and Kamikaze and Wrecking Machine from Throttle Monsters. So ought to be a hell of a show.
Pretty sure the Jamboree is this weekend because I remember seeing what was it, John Gordon and Cody actually even was it yesterday and today. They're sending videos of them on the road. And then,
that's right. Bloomsburg is this weekend, which I believe actually Cheech is going to do some stuff from there. He said he's going to try and do some stuff. So
also, Cheech just said there's also Evansville, Indiana as well.
Oh, you know what? And I don't know why I don't know about that one because Bounty Hunter and Scarlet Bandit are in Evansville, and Jimmy's actually backflipping Friday and Saturday night. So you'd think I would remember that, but I kind of live in my bubble. So Cheech is watching?
Yep, looks like he is.
Yeah, well, I just want to say, Cheech, dude, great job last night. Beautiful episode. That was impressive. So anyway, with that said, I believe we need time to get to our guest, Mr. Stephen Thompson, the driver of Hurricane Force, Earthshaker, and less well-known star of the movie Pop Goes the Condom, and author of the book Para Caliente, The Life and Times of the Hot Dog.
All right.
Hi, Steve.
Hey, Cameron. How you guys doing?
So, you want to talk about the monster trucks, the movie, or the book first?
The book's pretty good. That was a good one.
That was a good book.
Yeah, we were down in where were we? Tampico, Mexico?
Tampico.
Somewhere like that. Yeah, yep. And we thought we were going to be a little fluent on our Spanish one night after a couple of drinks. Went down, ordered some Perro Calientes, which was just hot dog, and apparently the store tenant worked. He spoke completely good English, and then we kind of looked like a bunch of idiots standing there, but good time.
Yeah, but you know what? For just a brief moment, we adapted to the culture.
That we did.
We were completely. I felt like we were Mexican right then for a minute.
For that split second, yeah, absolutely.
Jelly looked at us like we were complete morons and said, "Oh, you mean hot dog?" Yeah.
That's a story I'll never forget, though.
Well, before we get all into the whole monster truck career, what's old shutdown 2020 been like of the Thompson clan?
Yeah, it's been pretty boring, honestly. A lot of shop work, just trying to get everything squared away for when we do go again. Just trying to go through everything, all three trucks, and then good to go. And spending a lot of time here at home, spending time with the kids and the wife, and kind of enjoying that, actually. It's a big change of pace, that's for sure.
Well, it's cool. For a lot of people who don't know, he's had a baby last year, a little boy. Talk about that little youngster. It's been like having a 1-year-old running around.
Man, anything that kid can get into, anything his height it's done with. It's either broken, missing, or you just got to go find it. You know, he's a ball of joy. I love the kid. Keeps you on your toes. That is for sure. Full of energy. So I don't know where he gets that from.
Sometimes when shit's missing, you just got to wait for him to poop. You'll find it.
Yeah. Waiting for a couple quarters to pop out of him, but we haven't got that lucky yet.
Kid crapped out 50 cents. Kid's awesome. Better than having a chicken.
We're making money off this kid.
Finally, if one got a baby paying for itself.
Yeah.
Well, now you guys actually had a show. You did Myrtle Beach here a couple weeks ago, right?
Yep, we did Myrtle Beach about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, I guess now, and man, we had a good time down there. Wound up winning both nights of racing, which is pretty cool. Being able to win the last guy who there with the monster trucks, being able to walk away with the wins there. A lot of big competition there. A lot of tough drivers. Steve Sims, we had him in the finals the second day, and we only won about by 6 inches. We had to take a couple slow motion clips to figure out who won it. But man, it was a cool race. It was glad to say we can won that.
Well, how good did it feel to get back behind the wheel and meet the fans? I mean, I know you guys didn't do a pit party, but still have the fans right there and actually run one of these trucks up and down the track a little bit.
Yeah, it was like riding a bicycle. You get back in the truck, you get back to your nature, and it was smooth. It felt good. Other than the broken housing at the end, it was a little bum there, but you go out there on asphalt and you launch these trucks as high as you can and drive them as hard as we do. Yeah, things are bound to break, but like I said, man, be able to just get out there and get the adrenaline pumping again, hear the fans cheering for you, man, it was a good time. Really hope to do it again here shortly, but with this virus, who knows when it's going to happen.
All right. Well, let's back up some. I guess before we get to that, why don't we first start with a young man by the name of Christopher Allen does our fun fact of the week about our guests. And Mason, let's see what Christopher Allen and the Allen family have to say about Mr. Stephen Thompson.
Hi, Monster Truck fans. Christopher Allen, the Monster Truck Guru, is returning for another episode of Monster Truck Fact of the Week. This edition is about Stephen Thompson. Stephen grew up in Hagerstown, Maryland, home of Black Stallion's Michael Vaughters, and was friends with several people who would grow up to become current members of the Vaughters Motorsports team. It was these friendships that garnered Stephen a seat in the Hurricane Force truck, the teammate to Tim Mente's storm damage in 2010. Although Hurricane Force remains Stephen's most recognizable identity, he has also had stints as a fill-in driver in monster vehicles owned by Jimmy Cretin, the aforementioned Michael Vaughters Sr., and Michael Hawkins in the days when he owned Equalizer and Red Solo Truck. Also, the past couple years, Stephen has run the Zombie and Earthshaker identities for Monster Jam, but underneath the fiberglass, it's still Hurricane Force, which Stephen continues to be the name and face of right to this day. Stephen has made 2 consecutive appearances at the Double Down Showdown in the Monster Jam World Finals before, the 2015 and 16 runnings of the bracket. Stephen credits these 2 occurrences as his biggest career highlights. And that is this episode of Monster Truck Fact of the Week, fans. For loads of awesome Monster Truck Show coverage all over the West, please like Monster Truckin' with Jim and Chris on Facebook and Instagram. Please like this podcast for new episodes, and remember, Monster Trucks forever!
So now, do you remember how he talked about?
Oh, absolutely. We started out, with Mike Vaughters back in, I met Mikey back in like 2nd grade. We were about 6, 7 years old, I guess, and started hanging out, riding dirt bikes together, riding bicycles together, just creating chaos on his farm. There we went from, crewing the temporary driving for Mike to working for Tim back in 2009, 2010. We started driving the Taurus 3 chassis, which is now in the Hall of Fame. Moved on up to our older chassis, I should say, the J&B chassis. Now we're up into the Eddie Micah chassis, and man, it's been a ride. It's been fun. We filled in for Jimmy Cretin, did some driving for Mike Vaughters once again, Mike Hawkins. We've done a lot of just kept us busy. Kept the paychecks coming in. That's what you got to do.
Well, now, so when you started with Mente, like I said, obviously you grew up around this, being best friends with Mikey Vaughters Jr. and all that. But when you went to work for Mente, was this a plan of this is what you wanted to do, or was this just something to do at the time? What was the goal there?
I was always been involved with this stuff. Always wanted to drive, and what. Got to start at the bottom, obviously. Everyone starts sweeping the floors and watching out how you work on the trucks and learning. But then Mente built the 2nd truck, and I was pretty much on next in line for the old truck, I guess you can say. And man, it was fun. We was able to drive a little bit, and that's kind of what I wanted to do. I didn't really care about the full-time gig, and now we hear our 10 years later, doing the World Finals, wearing them with Monster Jam under different identities, and man, it's been fun. Like I said, it's you don't plan on nothing, but it's become a career, and it's been good so far.
Well, so now looking back over the last 10 years, I mean, not a lot of guys stay in it that long. I mean, especially as an employee, I mean, there's a lot of team owners that last a long time, but a lot of drivers come and go, especially in the independent world and driving for other teams. So for you to come in, you get your own name right off the bat, starting to campaign the Hurricane Force name, and to build that, I mean, that's a pretty damn popular truck now. I mean, looking back over the last 10 years, I mean, it's been a hell of a ride, hasn't it?
It has, like you said, it's, 10 years ago, no one knew what Hurricane Force was. And, it's just another truck out there. And now it's kind of I don't want to say a household name, but it's more name, more known name. And it's been good, pretty much everything I've done is, I built the name. There's been a couple other drivers, my brother's driven it a few times. Tim Macentas has driven it a few times. But like you said, everything this truck has accomplished, it's been me more or less driving it, and it's an awesome feeling. It's a great feeling, and hopefully in a couple more years, this truck's even bigger name. It's more of a household name, but it's definitely been cool.
Well, and I mean, I can personally attest to the popularity of that truck. I mean, it's an East Coast truck, but I've done shows with you all over the Midwest. And I can honestly say it surprises me sometimes how popular it is. And do you think it's because of the longevity, because of the consistency of your driving style and what you've done and how well you've done? Or is it, just you got so many wow moments out there as well?
I think it's a little bit of both. The longevity of the chassis. It's we're always changing up the look of it. Obviously, we went from the 2008 Ford F-150, which had the weather grid on the side of it, to the 68 Ford, which a lot of people can relate to that. We've had a lot of wow factors, a lot of cool crashes. We always try to step the bar up. Like I said, I was a fan long before I was a driver, so I try to keep the spectacular up, I guess you can say, and make the fans happy. So it definitely does help. Like you said, the longevity, the wow factors, all of it. I try to kind of put myself with the fans and communicate with them as much as I can. So, I think that helps as well.
So how often does it happen when you've gone and filled in and you've driven, the second Bounty Hunter, you've driven Equalizer and Red Solo Truck, you've driven Black Stallion and Iron Warrior for Mike and stuff. Do you find over the years when you've gone to other shows, and even though you're behind the wheel of another truck, people still recognize Steve Thompson?
Oh, absolutely. It's not only me, but you still drive Hurricane Force, don't you? And for instance, we run the Earthshaker on our chassis now, and tons of people come up and ask about the Hurricane Force, if it's still running, and always get some kind of compliment on the truck, on how it looks or how it's ran, or times they remember seeing it elsewhere. But I definitely do. When we were up in Wildwood, New Jersey, driving for Black Stallions, just people coming up there and saying, I remember seeing you and such and such, and driving Hurricane Force. So it definitely does. People pay attention to the stuff, and it makes it cool. It's definitely worth it.
Well, and you're kind of in a unique situation as far as team owner versus employee, or teammate, however you want to word it, because Tim gives you a lot of free reign. And I mean, I couldn't tell you how many conversations about, with Tim himself told me, whatever Steve wants to do, Steve can go do. He's got the green light to go. What you want on your truck, you pretty much get, within reason, of course. But if there's something you're wanting to try, I mean, how nice has that been to have that freedom that if you want to try something new on your truck, or there's a show you just want to go just run the piss out of it, you can.
It's definitely cool. Tim's always said it's my truck. These are your trucks. I'm just the guy who owns them, which is he stands by that a lot. We try different things out on the trucks. I tried different settings, tried different this, tried different that, and he always stands behind me. I've been doing it long enough, and 90% of the time I'm the guy fixing the truck. So if I break it up or mess up doing something stupid, it's my fault. I got to fix it. So he's been really cool about it. It's definitely a good deal I have, and man, I wouldn't trade it. That's for sure.
Now, if we could just get Tim to wear a belt.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, we can't really afford one because we're always replacing parts and bodies and whatnot like that. But, we're gonna have to find something here shortly. That's for sure.
you go spend one weekend with Jim Mente, and you will see more crack than you'll ever see on a marathon of cops. I mean,
Yeah.
but you gotta love him. I mean, that is genuinely one of my favorite people in this business and one of my closest friends. So I can say this all laughing and hoping he's not watching. Mason, is Tim Mente watching back here?
I'm looking at the views. I don't see Tim on. At least not yet.
All right, we're good.
Maybe he'll watch later in commenting.
Yeah,
he'll catch the rerun tomorrow.
And I'll be getting a phone call. Hey, well, before we get to the fan questions, real quick, let's talk about the World Finals. I mean, Double Down Showdown, 2000. I think he said 15. You went the first time, so going there for the first time. I remember you. I remember when you were there, and me and you talked a bit while you were there about suggestions and stuff like that. Talk about the pressure of now you're in the biggest show in the business.
Yeah, that we it was definitely cool. It was nerve wracking. It was stressful. It was a little bit of everything. And we come in there and no idea because we always did arena trucks and we were the arena guys. And come into the biggest show out there and we had no idea how to set this thing up. We were pretty much all shooting in the dark. Went out in qualifying, I believe it was, and crashed pretty bad. Tore the truck up good, but took it back in the pits and. I believe Jim Kohler was in there, Brad Allen, a bunch of guys. They were throwing parts of that thing, got us back together. Didn't go far. Got knocked out first round by Cody Saucier. But if you're going to lose, man, you're going to lose to someone who wins it all. That is for sure. The second year we went back and still a little clueless, but had a little bit more idea what we were getting ourselves into. Laid down some fast passes. In practice we kept getting faster and faster. I believe we only lost by like 10 or 1/10,000th of a second in racing against the Groth brothers. So, it was definitely better than the first time. But it was definitely cool. It's stressful, that's for sure. But, be able to go out there and compete in the world finals, just that alone it's unbelievable. It's a great feeling.
Now, was there a big pressure difference between the 2 years? I mean, the first year, you don't know what to expect. I mean, I know you guys have been out there for display, but being down in the pits during the show, the speed of even just practice, of just go, to going into the second year, now you've been there, you've done it, you know what it feels like. So was the mindset different or was it still just, oh my God, we got to do this?
Yeah, it was a little different. It's not a lot of people know from the starting line to down into the track itself is like an 8-foot drop. So, coming through that chicane, you got to learn it. The first week or the first year we were there, you'll be very timid. When you take off the line, the truck rocks back. You can't see that inside Jersey wall, so you have no idea where your turn is. You're pretty much, like I said, shooting in the dark there. The second year coming in, we had a lot better idea what was going on. We knew the track a little bit better. So it was more laid back. We just, it's one of those things. Every year you run it, everywhere you go, you run it, and you get more and more comfortable with it. We could go back there again in 2021 per se, and it's a different truck, but you have the same idea, the same concept of it, and you just get better with it. You get more comfortable with it. The seat time, the running in stadiums, it all helps out. It's a positive effect on it.
So let's say 2021 Las Vegas World Cup. What would you go and do different? I mean, what is one thing as far as truck setup or just just mentally? What is one thing you can think of off the top of your head that you would do that I know this didn't work? I want to try this time.
If we would do it again, I would say shorter limit straps on the front of the truck. Definitely keep it down. From taking off in the line, the truck squats so bad. Like I said, you can't see over that hood. You have no idea where that turn is. Put a little bit shorter limit strap on it. You can keep the front end down, get an idea a little bit better. I can hold into it a little bit longer in the throttle coming into the turn because we know how the turn now is. It's a little bit slick. We got lockers in the front and rear of the truck now. So, just hammer down more or less. It's a, I don't want to say point and shoot thing, but the more throttle you got, the better chance you got. The turn coming into it, you can't really just jab on your brakes because it unsettles the truck. And definitely could crash out hard. So you kind of got to, stay on the throttle, stay on the brake, make your turn smooth, and accelerate. Everything it has. You got to gear it a little bit different to be able to get to that, slower momentum to the hammer down part. So we, be able to gear the truck down a little bit different. Just a little bit of everything. It's a learning curve more or less.
How cool do you think it'd be to freestyle? I mean, because I know racing has never been your thing that you like doing it, but you're a freestyle guy through and through. How cool would it be to freestyle on that big track once?
Man, that'd be awesome. You get to see all these guys go out there and just wide open, everything, big air. I like the big air. This truck we have now, it has bigger shocks on it, better accumulators. Josh Garcia set us up. Awesome truck, man. It's a good race truck as well now. That'd be awesome. Just be able to get the big air like Tyler Duke and all them guys do, man. That'd be such an adrenaline rush. That is for sure.
I'm pretty sure you do the Todd LeDuc jump. I'm pretty sure we're all going to hear Mente over the crowd. No!
Like, hey, Tim, you remember you told me I can do whatever I want.
There goes everything I made this year. All right. Well, I'd say, Mason, how we doing on comments and questions from the people for Steve Thompson?
We're doing pretty good. A lot of people from his tour, it looks like, right now.
All right. Well, let's get to it.
All right. I'll go ahead and start off on a good one since Richie's watching right now. We have one from Michael Keller saying, did you ever give Richie a high five on his scabbed hand from what he got after going to Whataburger that night?
Yeah, our crew guy had a great idea of bringing a bunch of battery-powered scooters along. And those things, they get you in trouble. You think you're going to go 10, 15 miles per hour. Those things went like 20, 25 miles per hour. And, Richie's out front hauling it, and I kind of laid back because I crashed like 2 weeks earlier, busted up some ribs, so I let him go. And extension cord cover thing looked like a little curve, looked like a ramp to him. He hit it. Next thing I know, man, there's a scooter up in the air. Richie's slamming down on the ground. It was pretty funny. Funny for me. It wasn't funny for him, but it was a good time, that's for sure.
Good job, Richie.
Yeah. Gave him a 10 on the execution.
Yeah, nobody ever said he was the brightest bulb in the tree.
Yeah. Every team has that guy. It makes you look better,
Well, the funny thing is I saw the aftermath of John Gordon doing the same thing one time. I wasn't there for it. The next day after he decided he was going to, where a sidewalk dips down, for a crosswalk, he was going to fly up that with a scooter and apparently misjudged exactly where the opening was. Showed up the next day, looked like he just got out of prison and gotten his ass whipped about 17 times. Oh, yeah, it was great.
Yep. I think we've all had them crashes, especially on this tour. I got mine down in Texas, and I remember we were racing down in Dallas, and, man, we were going about 26, 27 miles per hour on a scooter, and it was like someone just reached over and locked up my front brake and hit the ground. I mean, skinned my side up, busted some ribs up. Man, I was sore, that's for sure, but you got to get back on that pony and keep on having fun with them.
Yeah, that's the reason you don't see my old blind ass riding around on them.
Before we go on, move on to the next
for sure.
Go ahead, Mason.
I just wanted to make sure we got Richie's comment back. He just wanted to say thanks, Cam. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, buddy.
Moving back over to the questions, though, we have another one from, I believe, your tour, Levi Schoen, saying, would you rather drive No Problem or Thumper?
Man, that's a good question. Thumper was the old Ford, always looked good. No Problem, though. I mean, I don't know what it was about that truck. I always thought that thing was the coolest thing ever when I was little.
Me and you have had this conversation about that as our favorite.
Yep. I don't know what it is about that thing, but No Problem all day long. It's just a cool, different truck. It was one of the original, I don't want to say a different truck, the different body style, the shorter wheelbase, man, that thing was so cool to watch. I would probably have to drive that truck at least once.
Yeah, Tim Jones has that chassis, and I keep trying to talk him into bringing it back.
Yep.
I told him I'd work on it for free.
Yeah. Yep. Why not,
Yeah, love that thing.
We have one from Kyle Bucket Seesaw asking, did you ever find someone to clean your windshield better?
Not yet. We were, I forget where we were, but had someone, I think it was Kyle, clean the windshield out. And next thing you know, it just started downpouring. So we just pulled the whole thing out. And kind of a running joke was, hey, while you're up there, go ahead and clean that windshield. And he'd act like he cleaned it up. And you know what? That thing was so spotless, like it wasn't even there. It was great.
Good job. You can't find good crew guys like that.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I would have just drilled a hole in it and like, here, try that.
Yeah, that's your problem, dude. I can see fine.
Yeah. Well, I can't, but I can't see shit. Why should you?
Even playing field there.
We have one from Michael Keller again asking, are you ever going to cave in and buy a pair of Crocs?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
Absolutely not. That is about the most unmanliest thing out there, I believe. Richie, my teammate, he has about 6 pairs. He's like a woman, has a set for every outfit he wears, from pink to purple to furry ones to camos. It's just dumb. You got a pair of shoes, you got some driving shoes, and you got boots. That's all you need.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, do they all match? Does he have a purse that matches each pair? Or?
He might as well. It's just about there. With the skinned up hand and purse in the other hand, I can see it.
Yeah. Wow. That's learned a lot about Richie at this moment. You thought my opinion of him was low before. He just got down.
Well, to keep the Richie Roastin' podcast going just a little bit longer, he wanted to say, wow, I take offense to that, and I only have 3 pairs. And here's a question from Michael Keller where it looks like Richie already put his comment on it. This is the last one for a little bit from Michael for a bit, but it seems like I want to see your opinion on it. His question is, see right here, would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? I've seen what Richie put in, but we want to see what you typed in or said.
Yeah, we had this argument down in Dallas, I believe it was, and I think I'd rather give it the one duck, and maybe horse sized, but a shotgun blast gets rid of that one where you got 100 of them coming at you, man. You never know what's going on. Those little things bite. I'll just take the one.
Boy, we are getting some deep inside information here. You can't find this shit anywhere. You ain't gonna see this shit on CNN.
No, this is the best of it,
It's just hard.
Well, I just wanted to get some of the funnier questions out of the way before we got to more I guess, heartfelt ones, like this one from Matt Cody. Seems to be more of a story here. He said, remember that time you, myself, and Michael got pulled over by the DOT in Maine? They held us for 3 hours, then towed us to the next truck stop. We ripped the red flag off, then crossed the border to get to New Brunswick, Canada. Good times, eh?
Yeah, I remember that one for sure. I think we were leaving Jefferson, Maine, just went and picked up Michael in Crust Station, heading up to New Brunswick there. And once we got pulled over and towed, Matt's like, we can go. I said, well, I don't know, I'll walk inside here and talk to the garage manager, see how long it would take them to get fixed, and go from there. So they told us it'd be about 6-7 hours before they could even get us in the shop, and come back out, and there's Matt doing his deal, taking it off, and like, hey, we can roll, but I am not driving in the state of Maine right now. You get us to the border, I'll drive until we get to the track. So that's what we did, pulled in a few hours later than we wanted to, but we made it to the show. It was a good time. Had 4 trucks there, and man, we were out in the middle of nowhere, but it was a good time.
Good old Matt Cody.
Have one from Alan Manriquez here saying, what was it like running on Stadium Tour Yellow for Brunch Jam this year? Running with guys like Cody, Jake Gord, etc. Was it hard for you this year compared to past years?
I don't want to say harder. It was definitely a lot more competition, but it was fun. We got able to the current chassis was able to run it last year and get to know it a lot better. So this year we come into it more confident, better in racing. Freestyle come along, and that's when Jaguar really shined, man. He kicks some ass every weekend. And, Cody, he's a tough competitor. He's a racing guy. Cam, he's a racing guy. It was definitely, like I said, I don't want to say it was tougher. Definitely a lot more skilled drivers out there. It was a lot more fun, that's for sure. Had a good gang with us. I would do it again. Same lineup, same trucks. It was definitely fun, and we would definitely do that again. It was a good time.
Let's see what else we have. We have one from Nick Miguez. Looks like a kind of personal question. Do ball switches fix everything?
In my case, it seems to. Sometimes you gotta take the lines off and cross the lines up, plug them up, and
all right. Thanks for having me.
Make sure the steering pumps are good and all that stuff. So down in the Myrtle Beach, it's our steering stuck out, and they were checking out the pumps and the motors and the lines and the switches, and pretty much I went back there and put some new ball switches in it. Truck's centered right up, and we were good to go.
I was feeding you all the information I was given. Don't call me. This is how it's going to be.
I'm pretty sure we didn't feed you all that information in Kansas City one year, but we did it. We went ahead and capped all the lines off and tested everything, and pretty sure I just maybe checked some ball switches and it fixed itself.
No, that was steering rims.
Same thing, a couple 5-minute fix and we're done.
You know what? You knew the whole system worked.
System definitely did work. Pressure everywhere except for where it needed to be.
Hey, look at it like this, okay? I've never said I'm any good at what I do. I don't. I've never.
It's kind of like one of those Perro Caliente stories.
Yeah, I just to be a crew guy. I'm just there to wear the shirt. And
yep.
Yeah, that's all I'm there for. I'm there
wear
for
that headset,
in the headset and the drinks after party. That's all I'm there for.
Yep. I like the after party. That's the best.
Cherry pit, strawberry drinks, that kind of stuff.
Good times.
Absolutely. What else you got, Mason?
See, one from Kyle Bucket Seasock again, saying almost like a two-parter here. Can you keep the body on for more than one weekend? And do you recommend any TV shows?
The body, we try to. That truck seems to be top heavy when we put the earth shaker on top there. I don't know what it is, but that truck just wants to fall over, and you crash that thing once, man, that whole body is just trashed, unfortunately. As far as TV shows, I can definitely think of a couple of them. Whose Line Is It Anyway? That's a good one. Much after that, I couldn't really tell you.
Where the rules are made up and the points don't matter.
That's the one. That's the one. Yep.
That's a good one.
Let's see what else we can pull up here. So we have one from William Kuntz. He just commented in now. Just wanted to say the run you had at Okeechobee was insane for that shoebox of a place. Definitely thought you're going to take the fan out. Definitely deserve a freestyle title, and you are definitely an underrated driver. It's like 3 definitely.
Thank you. I remember Okeechobee. It was definitely a small place and may have hit the jammer a little bit hard. And one of those times you're looking dead nuts at the fan and right in the eyes, and you're kind of like, oh shit. But you know what? It worked out for us. Gravity took over, got us back on the ground, and it was definitely a fun night, fun weekend. That's for sure. Cost me a little bit of money because I think I drug home a Harley that weekend, but hey, it happens.
No, that was in Fort Walton Beach when you bought the Harley.
Fort Walton, that's right. Yep, but not allowed down there no more because I'll keep bringing stuff home.
No, Okeechobee, we just drank.
Yeah, that's hard to believe.
Yeah, I know.
Hard to believe.
Weird. Never happened sitting in a field.
Yeah, no, not for a week long. It's you count the grass blades around your trailer. That's all you do down there.
And empty used solo cups. Really,
it was the wind. It blew them over.
We really ought to pick these up. Started looking like a mess around here.
Yep.
What else you got?
We have one from Brandon Culpepper Sr. asking, how much hell did you put Bucket through?
We kept him busy. Definitely kept him busy. I think we went through I know his first weekend out, we snapped the housing. Not too long after that, we took 2 more champagnes out, a body just about every weekend. So we kept him busy. He got his fair share of crewing out, and we made him work at us for sure.
Nice. So you continue with another crew story here from Levi Shones saying, remember when we had to take the new threads in the Champagne in Anaheim? At least you saved it.
Yeah, we went through some champagnes the last 2 years. I think we went through 7 of them. I don't know what is it about this new truck here. Just, I guess the different angles on the shocks or whatever it is, but it was like almost every weekend we were putting champagnes on that truck. Pulling bolts out, trying to resave them. After a couple of them, you run short on supplies and get to the next city. Sometimes there's not always a fastenal or whatever you may need there. So you gotta improvise at times. You gotta make things happen. You gotta make some chicken salad out of chicken shit at times.
What about phone chargers? You ever have a problem with those?
Yeah, I actually did. I had a phone charger not work once, and a good friend of mine was riding shotgun and told him it wasn't working, so he said he can fix it. And next thing I know, I watched my phone charger go out the window, so we had to stop and buy a new one at the next truck stop.
It wasn't a problem no more, was it?
I have no idea what it was, but thanks for the fix, Cam. It definitely worked.
Just trying to solve your issue. You had a broken charger. When I was done, you no longer had a broken charger.
Yeah, we didn't have a charger at all, so it definitely was not broken.
It wasn't broken. Yeah, no gratitude here. Jesus Christ.
It's appreciation. It just doesn't show.
Yeah, all I do for you.
See, we have one from Corey Snyder saying, in best family-friendly banquet story, if there is one.
Oh, man. I remember one year we left at banquet. We were pretty tuned in, Next thing I know, I found this 3-foot cup of, I don't even know what was in it, a bunch of tequila and some red stuff, and I just had to have one of them. And next thing I know, there's Elliot Miller and Rick Steffens and a bunch of other guys at the McDonald's, and I'm pretty much passed out, feeling pretty bad, and so my brother throws me into a cab, and next thing I know some things happen, things come up. Taxi cab driver kicked us out. So my brother had to give him a $50 tip on just cleaning the car, and he got us back to the hotel. Definitely appreciate that one. But those 3-foot tall red slushy cups, stay away from them. That's bad news.
Nick Owens, God rest his soul, years ago, we were out there in Vegas, and we were at the Rock House one night, and he comes around to me, and I still have the cup. But yeah, one of them 3-foot tall, like vial-looking things, whatever.
Yeah, you got a necklace on him because you can't carry him.
Oh, yeah. He comes bebopping up to me, and he's like, dude, it only cost me like $42. He's like, and dude, he goes, I get free refills for $20. All right.
That's pretty contradicting there, but all right.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, but I still have the cup. It hangs out in my garage.
That's awesome. That's something you never forget, though,
Yep,
it's one of those memories.
Yep. What else you got?
We have one from William Kuntz that I was going to ask, but I guess he took the words right out of my mouth. His is, what is the worst crash you've taken inside a truck?
Man, I would say, when we broke the front housing out in Minneapolis, it was a hard hit, but it wasn't too bad because a lot of momentum kept the truck rolling. I would have to say Houston of last fall, we were running the Rod Ryan body, went for a backflip. The truck went way up in the air. Pretty much got upside down. It quit rotating. Panic revved it. It did come around pretty much on nose pick from I would guess 25, 30 foot in the air. I had bruises down the front of me from my seat belts, 2-inch wide the whole way down my chest to my stomach. That was definitely a rough ride, man. You feel that the next couple days. The truck held up great though. Only bent one bar, but the bar that bent was one of those deals it's pretty much there. No support to it, no structure for it. But that was a hard hit. That was probably one of my worst crashes.
Oh. So we line up a few more. One from Brandon Culpepper Sr. again, asking, why does Wiki call you Apple?
That's a that's I don't know how to answer that one. It's just, put it this way: the punchline was, "How do you like those apples?" We may have had a little bit too much to drink one year at the Monster Truck MTRA Association banquet. We'll just let it at that. That's about as family friendly as we can get right there.
Good story though.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like that story I know of a guy dancing in my trailer in Jacksonville, and he, stage dove himself out of the trailer on the asphalt. That was a good story as well. You had to be there to see it.
Yeah, I bet that was a good one. So, a question we like to ask everybody, speaking of incidents like that, is we always like a favorite road story.
Favorite road story.
Yeah, one of either traveling or late night in the trailer singing to a 55-gallon drum to Adele. Anything like that. I mean, this is a good road story. Or, like I said, something happened at a bar in Anaheim. Whatever.
I can think of a couple different stories, Definitely one that sticks in my head, though. We were driving we were coming back from Barrie, Ontario. It was me and my brother. I think someone of this, maybe CJ Mente. We're trucking along, though. It's like 4 a.m, tired. Found a little parking area to pull into, and from my perspective, it looked like a ramp curb. It had a little bit of an angle to it, so we went ahead and come up into it pretty slow. It wound up being a flat edge curb, about a foot tall, it felt like. Man, we hit that thing, and the rig bounced all over the place. My brother popped up out of the bunk, poked his head in the cab, like, what the hell fell off this piece of shit this time? It was just one of them things, man. I'll never forget that one. It was a funny time, it wakes you up. We kept on trucking a couple more miles and made it about 3 miles from a truck stop where we successfully ran out of fuel, and there we sat for the night. So good times.
You can't make that shit up.
No. Unfortunately, you cannot. A lot of times it's not fun on the road. Things happen. There you are, sitting on the shoulder, trying to figure out how you're going to do this, how you're going to make it happen. So, we actually had a bicycle in the trailer, and we were willing to ride bicycles to this fuel station to get enough fuel to get us there. But fortunately, we knew someone pretty close by, and he brought us 25 gallons of fuel, got us fired up, and there we trucked the whole 3 miles down and filled it up.
Yeah, you can't make that shit up.
No. Then, another one that sticks in my head, we were at a show, and same thing, me and my brother, and got there like 4 a.m, super late, slept in a little bit, and I hear someone out rummaging in the scrap bin, but I can't, I'm too tired. I don't want to look out the window and get up and go to unload trucks, and someone put every lock on the trailer, just whatever lock they can find, locked our trailer up, had no idea what the keys was, no idea what the codes were. And here comes Jim Kohler scratching his head, walking around the corner of the trailer, because I heard them damn kids out there. And sure enough, Jim did it. And he's a little prankster, that's for sure. You got to watch him.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
For sure.
One thing, Cretan doesn't play that game, so I'm always safe. Nobody messes with our stuff.
Yeah.
Fun to watch what everybody does.
Yeah. Yep, that's one thing you can't do. You can't prank Jim Kohler, because he may be, he won't forget about it. It may be 4 years down the road, and he's going to get you back. It's going to be twice as bad, but he's going to get you back. That is for sure.
You'll wake up one morning and your trailer will have no tires or roof.
Yep. And he has some kind of explanation about it.
And he's always the most surprised about what happened to you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what happened here? I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I was back when we had our prankster on our team this year. I think we're on our way to Fargo. And what he thought would be a great idea, because I can't see past how much fuel he has, because I didn't have my glasses with me because I left it back in the trailer, so I can't really see anything past what he's working with. He kind of tells me, it's like, hey, is your phone working? Because we're in a dead zone. Like, no, I don't have any service. Like, well, that's a problem because I don't think there's going to be another truck stop for, I don't know, another 50 or 100 miles. He made some like something up, like just like how much more fuel we had and how we're not going to make it. Probably going to be stuck in the middle of nowhere at like 2 a.m. And he played me real good because he recorded audio and had video at one point. Because I started freaking out, like, okay, maybe we could find like a map somewhere to see where the next truck stop is, because we're not stopping in the middle of nowhere, like through a snowstorm, trying to get to Fargo. And sure enough, after a good 15 minutes, I think he had enough fun with me, and he sees this truck stop pulling right up. We're at the top of a hill. It's like, okay, well, we just ran out of fuel, so I think I'm just gonna have to like ride the brakes down and hope we can make it to this truck stop, or we're just kind of like we're gonna be lost, stuck, and probably gonna have to go out there on your skateboard and try to like just bring in fuel. There's no way in hell I'm doing that. And I was telling him, like, we're just screwed. We're like, I can't call anyone. We're just done. Well, he's literally riding the brakes and making it sound like the rig just like gave up. Oh my god! Like, I'm looking at Tan like, we're done. How are we gonna what are we gonna do now? And right as we pull like right off the interstate, he starts the rig back up. He starts up. It's like, I'm just fucking with you. We had fuel the whole time around, and I just wanted to mess with you. Like, dude, are you fucking kidding? Like, I just like went off. I was like, the whole time we were good. So, yeah.
Hey, family friendly. Watch your mouth, potty mouth. Jeez.
I got my baby sitting here with me, man. Gotta watch that.
Lord. Like 3 F-bombs in that story. It's a good story, but like 3 F-bombs in there, bud. Jeez.
Sorry, I'm
maybe a little embarrassed now.
Yeah, putting three coins in the swear jar now.
Hey.
Sorry.
We're up to 75 cents.
FCC's here.
Shutting you down.
One of those, you can get a Hot Wheels.
Golly. I don't even know how to follow this up now. I'm appalled at what just happened.
Okay, well, I think in my seat, let's go over maybe a few more questions we have in. See, we have one from Tina Jones Smith saying, Scotty said to tell Steven hello and hopes that he can bring pepperoni rolls to him soon. Hey,
what's up, Scotty? Hopefully you can bring some of them pepperoni rolls to us, man. We miss them, miss seeing you guys at shows, you know. Hopefully this virus goes away and we can go back to normal life and hanging out in the trailer, giving us some more wristbands and having some fun, man. Miss you guys.
Not till after the election.
Yeah. Funny how that works, huh?
Yeah. So the election's over, virus should be good.
Something like that. See, one last one from Kyle Bucket Seesaw saying, how many adult sodas did we go through on tour and singing Queen on our way home at 3 a.m.?
Man, I don't even know where to keep count. I guarantee it was, I'd say at least 300 sodas for sure, easily. And then, I remember that, man. We were coming home, got the news that the tour was canceled. We were out in Albuquerque, and we were about an hour from home. Everyone's just tired, so we started rocking out the Bohemian Rhapsody, and got us woke up just long enough to get us home. And good times that was, you know.
Well, do you have any more, Mason, or is that all you got for now?
We have one more, or actually two. Sorry.
Well, hang on a second for you. So we're talking about road stories, and so I got one for me and you, Steve, and we actually had Jack and Rocky Caberna on a couple weeks ago, and we talked about changing the motor in the parking lot at Tampico. Yeah.
Yep. Using no equipment whatsoever.
Just all by hand. And
I remember that. Yeah.
That was one of my proudest moments. And but what was even better, then we went to talking about going to the beach. And everybody renting the whales and stuff, and me putting Caberna on his ass. But
pretty proud about that one, aren't you?
Oh yeah. I talked about it on here because I was going to make sure the whole world knows I put Jack Caberna on his ass because he's 1,000 miles away from me. He couldn't do nothing about it. But the other part of that story I want to tell. Do you remember walking down the street to the beach?
Yep. The manhole covers. All the manhole covers were gone, and someone just put sticks over top of them. Like, that's going to stop a 200-pound man from falling God knows how far down into a sewer tank or whatever was down there. But it was definitely an OSHA place. Safety first there, that is for sure.
I mean, do you know what we're talking about, Mason? You know, like when you're walking on a sidewalk and you come up to a manhole and it's just got the cover on it, you know, the big metal lid?
Yep.
Well, we had to walk like 2 blocks to the beach, and not a one of them had that cover.
And now someone definitely stole them and scrapped them in.
Yeah. And I mean, and this is on a city street. This is not on some backwoods road. This is on the highway that takes everybody to the beach. But yeah, it was like quite entertaining. Like I said, they just nicely laid a board over it. It should be fine. We're not talking like a piece of plywood that covered the hole. We're talking like a 1x2.
Yeah.
Draped
just
over
big
it.
enough to just big enough so if you fell you'd catch your chin on the way down, more or less.
Well, go ahead and hit your other questions, because then I got one more for Steve to share.
Gotcha. Interrupt here. We have one from Michael K. Morrissey saying, what is your favorite truck, or what is your guys' favorite truck? I guess that would be either driven or just to watch.
Man, I don't know. There's so many trucks I like to watch. I'd have to say I like watching Chucky Palkin. You know, you never know what that guy is going to do. Such a skilled driver. He has that wow factor, keeps it under control into the last one, and it's like just a big stick of dynamite, man. You never know when that thing's going to pop. It's definitely fun, you know. Greg Winchenbach, he's another one like that. Fun to watch that dude. Another big stick of dynamite. You never know when that thing is going to go. It's like a lit fuse as soon as he takes off. You know it's going to wound up spectacular, upside down, burned up, crashing, tires missing. Yeah, those are the guys I like to watch.
Well, so do I get to answer? Did he ask all of us, or is it just for him?
He was saying guys. I think it's for all of us.
All right. So I would, if I had to pick two, and not that I want to stay in Monster Jam, but I will. Lindsey Wink and Cody Saucier are probably my two favorite. Those are two. I mean, I love watching Ryan and Adam, and they're amazing drivers. But Cody and Lindsey are both so controlled. I mean, they look out of control, but it is such control in the way they can flow from one move to the next, and calculated. I mean, it's just, I love watching them guys.
Absolutely. That was one thing I liked about being on tour with Cody, man. He was a smooth driver. He always been a smooth driver. You know, he respects the equipment, but he knows how to burn it down, you know, and just drive it off the track, park it like nothing ever happened.
One of the nicest people in the entire world. I mean,
absolutely.
Can't find anybody nicer than Cody Saucier.
Absolutely, man. My hat's off to that dude, man. I got respect for that guy. You know, from where he come from, wanting to work on trucks to rocking the Monster Energy sponsor to driving for John Gordon now, dude. That guy he's one of a kind. He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Mason? Who do you like to watch?
He's kind of biased, but my top two would have to be Jim Kohler, because I just always loved his excitement factor and just how like he'd send that truck even since I've been a kid. And definitely lately with, I'm biased, but Austin Mitten, because I got to have fun being on tour with him, working with him, messing around with him on headset, and it's one of those deals when you're on the headset with the driver and things is kind of like just natural, and we get to kind of like test different things out. We still play jokes, and it was a real fun tour that was cut short, but I would love to do it again someday.
All right, you got one more?
Yeah, this one is from Nate Knapp. He's asking, in your opinion, is a college like UNOH better for getting into the monster truck industry, or to be easier working for an independent team to get into the business?
My opinion, definitely UNOH. You know, independent teams are kind of hit or miss. You know, a lot of guys, we got budgets. We got bills to pay. You know, Monster Jam guys, not talking bad about them guys, but they drive. That's the only thing they got to do, and they got to fix the truck. Definitely, that way there is, I'd say, a lot easier. With an independent, you never know what's going to happen. You may be the guy that builds motors, to building bodies, to mounting tires, to doing axles. UNOH, you got programs, chassis building to motors, to transmissions, to whatever it may be. So I would definitely go with the college. Not even with Monster Jam, but you got so many more different opportunities there, so many more windows. Doors you can get your feet into, whatever it may be. that's definitely the way to go.
It sets you up for a career for life.
Absolutely, you know.
Yeah, don't be an idiot like me and just be a crew guy for life.
Don't be a Cameron.
Yeah, don't be. Look, we're just going to start an ad that runs on everywhere. Don't be this guy. So, before I let you go, Steve, one last story I want to share. And, well, actually, I'm going to make you share it. But Ardmore, Oklahoma. Zach Adams, Steve Thompson,
Yep.
Tim Macinis, and an open track in the middle of the night. What happened there?
You know, once again, after a couple adult beverages, and that leads to bad choices. You know, we were trying to figure out something to do. You know, we were all pretty wide awake then, and the track owner was there. They had tough trucks there at the show that night, and we're probably ratting on ourselves here, but you know, it's whatever.
That's a track
owner. Yeah, the track owner, he pretty much told us that, you know, there's 20 tough truck cars here. Go have fun, you know, just there's a couple back here in the backfield off limits. Other than that, you can get them running, man, go have fun. So I believe it was Mullet, Tim Macenas. He finds a Chevy S10 extended cab, 2-wheel drive, and we just start beating the hell out of this thing. At one point, it was me and Zach Adams in the back of it, in the back seat, and this thing is only like little bucket seats, so we're basically touching knee to knee, looking at one another, and Mullet hits the backside of the racing lanes, and they're elevated. We cleared all 5 cars, downside of the racing ramp perfectly, and Zach and I, we actually bounced around so much, we bent the back of the cab out to touch the front of the bed. It was pretty spectacular that no one got hurt, but it was you know, it was definitely a dumb idea because the next morning, man, you hurt. But I'm sure it was good for the wow factor.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm glad. You know, I'm glad we got the entertainment for you, and you know, we take care of you. That's what we're here for.
But I did play the adults, and before they got in anything, I made them go get their helmets.
That you did. You know, the dad came out in you, and it's probably a smart thing. You know, we all had the Hans on, the neck devices in there. It wasn't really doing much for us. We didn't have seatbelts over top of them, but yeah, it definitely kept us from getting too bad of a whiplash.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming on tonight. It's been a blast. I mean, just between the two of us, not even counting the other 1,000 stories you got, just between the two of us, 100 more stories we could sit here and tell. But
oh yeah,
I really appreciate having you. If anybody wants to keep up with what's going on with storm damage and hurricane force, where can they go to follow you guys?
You know, I got a Instagram, Steve Thompson Jr. Other than that, Tim Mente has a Facebook. You know, other than that, that's about it. You know, just keep an eye out for us. We're always trying to keep up on the pages, keep new postings coming out. Other than that, man, thanks for having us, guys, and we'll see you down the road at some point.
Yep. Hopefully we'll be at a show having a drink together sooner than later.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it's about time. You know, we got to get the back together and, you know, do some dancing in the new trailer, sing some Adele to the fuel drums, have some fun with it.
Get Club High Vis 2.0 going.
That's right.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you, guys. And like I said, man, we'll talk to you down the road, and hopefully we can do this again sometime.
All right, buddy.
All right.
All right, Mr. Mason, I believe you got some sponsor stuff to do.
Yep. 1 second. Let me go ahead and rise back up from my cursing chair of shame here. Of course, we have Florida's Sauce Slinger's own Spur Hot Sauce. They are a Florida-based company where the Southeast meets the Southwest in a clash of hot and tangy flavors. When you want to spice up your next meal, think of Spur Hot Sauce. Make sure to give them a like and contact on Facebook and or Instagram and tell them MonsterCast sent you. Of course, you cannot forget about Monster Truckinator TV, the place to go on for all things new and old monster truck related. I know they're going to the four-wheel jamboree this weekend, so excited to see what coverage he shows us there.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be cool to see the old jamborees fired back up. You know, that was the thing when I was a kid. They used to have one in Sedalia, Missouri. And it was so cool because it was nothing like nothing else. I mean, it was four-wheel and off-road magazines were the ones that put them on. and you would go down there and see a show and shine of 4-wheel drives like you never saw, monster trucks, mud drags. It was just a true gearhead 4-wheel drive guys heaven. I mean, you couldn't. There was nothing cooler. And so yeah, it's cool to see them starting to build them back up, and hopefully wishing them guys the best. I know Joey Sylvester's heavily involved over there with those guys, and so I hope they work out for them and get that brand back up and rolling. So, all right. Well, with that said, appreciate everybody watching tonight. This Sunday, normally we do the family thing, but I had a guest I've been wanting to get on for a while, and he said yes. He's not busy, so we're actually going to have Derek Anson, a heavy hitter, and been driving for the Hot Wheels Tour, and kind of been since the beginning of the new Hot Wheels Live Tour. So I've been wanting to really we've talked to a lot of Monster Jam guys and some other guys, but we haven't had anybody from there yet. So it'd be cool to get him on and get the perspective of how that group's going and how things are, we're going for, of course, the shutdown. But join us Sunday, 7 p.m. Central for Derek Anson. Mason, any last closing words?
I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today, and of course, make sure to tune in on Sunday again. It's been a real fun time. I'd like to highlight this one last comment about making T-shirts, because Levi Shones has a few T-shirt ideas on not being a crew guy. So there's that one and another one I saw him post earlier. So definitely maybe take those into account.
What are they? I can't read them. So what?
He was saying when I was saying who not to be for being a crew guy. It's you not being a crew guy. Or that joke you made earlier. He wants that to be a T-shirt. He told me before this podcast he wants to have his own JT Schmitz or Hooters T-shirt. And as dumb as it sounds, I think that would be a great T-shirt to wear, just because it's probably so far at least our podcast biggest inside joke.
And I can't believe he didn't ask Steve Thompson, because I've been in Anaheim, Steve Thompson, so he didn't ask that this time. I mean, it's gotten to the point that my own mother that watches this every episode, she is on from the minute we start to the minute we shut off. She's watching right now, and even she always watches for Levi's goddamn question now. And she'll tell me, she'll be like, "Oh, well, Levi didn't ask that tonight," or "Oh, yeah, George Levi was on there with his question." So he's almost. I swear to God, here in about another month, I'm not even going to be on the son of a bitch anymore. It's just going to be you and Levi. So Levi can come on here and just ask his one question and turn the podcast off.
A good 3-minute podcast. You have us introducing the driver, the little promo video, the question, done.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Levi, you work on that shirt, I wear a 3X, I'll wear it. But all right. Well, with that said, this concludes our broadcast for the evening. Thank you for watching. We gone!